Hey everybody, welcome back to another First Impressions video here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the recent release from Yen Press, Dara-san of Reiwa, Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Haruomi Tomotsuka. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you all for being here. Let me remind you before we get started that I do have a Discord server. If you would like to join, the link is in the description below. I'd appreciate it. This story follows the character of Kaoru Misugiya and Hinata Misugiya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names correctly. I probably am not, so I do apologize for that. But they are school students in this town that has a long tradition of the Misugiya family tending to a sacred mountain, which has a shrine in it that protects people from this frightful, legendary, mythical serpent called Yamatagi Madara. Madara is a spirit that was once filled with hate. There's this whole origin of her and how, slight spoilers, she was assembled from an actual serpent deity, sort of like a yokai, mixed with the priestess from several hundred years ago, and how she got betrayed and slain. As a result, her grudge fused with the corpse of this slain creature, and it sort of created this new hybrid monster, if you will. But now in present time, she's just being herself and living in this mountain. And when the story first begins, there's a rainfall, heavy rainfall and mudslide, and it ends up breaking the shrine that is set to protect the mountain and the people from Madara. Now, her name is a little bit long, and I'm sure it has different meanings and all that stuff, but thankfully, our two protagonists, they're a bunch of goofballs, and they end up meeting with the serpents because they feel like they should explore the mountain now that the shrine and the fencing around the shrine was broken. So they go in and they do see this evil spirit. Turns out she's not that evil, and these guys can't take anything serious, so an unlikely pair and friendship forms between the three of them. And I believe it was actually Kaoru, the youngest, who proposes to shorten Madara's name to Dara-san. So throughout the book, I'm just going to say Dara-san, much easier to remember. So the majority of this story is the unlikely friendship that forms and her recounting how everything came to be and how she became this vengeful spirit. That's when the book switches from its comedic aspect into a full-blown horror revenge story. It's told through mini chapters in between each of the regular chapters, if you will, sort of like flashback pages, and that stuff is fantastic. I love that the book plays around with that. From my understanding and reading the author's note at the back of the book, this all started as a webcomic, but it got popular enough where it was published as a manga. So the author really does balance the dual theme of horror and comedy pretty dang well. The parts where it's comedic with the Misugiya family members are really funny. There are a lot of ecchi, not safe for work jokes that are made at the expense of Dara-san and how out of touch she is, quote unquote, with modern times. But not really, because at one point we see that she even owns a cell phone. Obviously, it was stolen when she spooked somebody and they dropped the phone, so she's now using it. But I found it funny that she can't recharge it or anything, so it's not being used properly. And it's up to the Misugiya families to update her on certain things. One of the funnier aspects, which plays into the etchiness of the book, is the fact that her upper torso, her human part, because her bottom part is a large serpentine tail, she's naked all the time. And it's actually Kaoru that suggests, I believe it was taking their mother's underwear to give to Dara-san so that she could not be so scantily clad. And that leads into some humorous conversations. Just the fact that at first, Dara-san, she's supposed to be this intimidating evil force, but she's a tragic figure. Her life story is pretty interesting, and as a result of the betrayal that she faced, she's lived as a scorned, vindictive serpent creature that a lot of people misunderstand for just being pure evil. And it's this unlikely bond between the kids and her that opens up her personality, and you see her being a little bit livelier, if not awkward at first, as she's starting to get a read for these kids and how they don't take anything seriously. They are here to troll and have a good time, but they also in their own way genuinely care, and they do express those feelings towards her as you keep reading the different chapters. The writing is pretty quick, straight to the point, and honestly one of the best things about this book is the art. I love the character designs, specifically Dara-san. Her facial expressions are badass, creepy, but also funny and kind of lewd at the same time, and it makes for an interesting read. I think this is one of my favorite acquisitions of the year, if I do say so, and it balances everything pretty well. There's a lot more. When you finish the book, they introduce several other supporting cast members, and they all bring something unique, crazy, and zany. There's this one exorcist priestess that I'm pretty sure is going to be the antagonist of the book, but I don't know if I should take her seriously just yet, considering the humor that I talked about earlier. There's one character that is obsessed with Kaoru that I'm pretty sure most people would find it extremely offensive and kind of a red flag, but keep in mind it is a fictional series, and the point of it is the absurdity and to laugh at this stuff, so just wanted to point that out. I did enjoy seeing Dara-san's progress as this quote-unquote evil entity, and how at the end of the book she's even leaving the mountain and venturing into the Misogiya's family household for a birthday party. So overall, if you're a fan of supernatural stuff, if you like a horror comedy book, if you like folklore and yokai and stuff like that, which I am a huge fan of, I think you'll be right at home with this one. It's not meant to be taken so seriously. It's mostly a comedy with horror themes sprinkled throughout, and just the fact that we get the duality. I love the jokes and the humor, that's all fun, but understanding Dara-san and her tragic story, or at least the first part of it. We get the overall summary of it, but as you keep reading, it goes into detail showing how they killed this beast and how her betrayal made the transformation possible for her to be bonded to this fallen spirit. So it's all pretty interesting. It's a fun little series that I do hope you consider grabbing at some point. If you are interested, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of it. I for sure really enjoyed volume 1 and cannot wait for volume 2. So shout out to Yen Press for acquiring this book, Dara-san of Reiwa. Pretty cool if you ask me. So that is going to be it. It's a quick, short video. I do apologize for taking a while. I sort of had a mini crash out that I was not expecting. Some real world drama and all that stuff. But we're back, and hopefully I can put out more videos soon for you guys. So thank you all so much. Hit the like button, comment down below if you've read this book. If you haven't, recommend me some horror comedy manga that you think I should check out. Share the video, join my Discord, become a member. There's a lot of options to help a brother out. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless. That is going to be it for now. I will catch you on the next one.